Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something I think a lot of B2B leaders wrestle with. It's that disconnect, right, between the BDRs, marketing, and sales teams. It feels like, well, like a leaky pipe where good leads, pipeline momentum, even revenue just sort of drip away. Maybe your BDRs are chasing leads that aren't quite right, or maybe those awesome marketing campaigns just don't get the sales follow-up they need.
Yeah, it's a huge issue. And for CMOs, for VPs of sales listening, it's absolutely critical because when these teams aren't aligned, it's not just messy, it's actively hurting you. It slows down the pipeline, tanks conversion rates, and makes forecasting. Well, let's just say it makes it really difficult. So our mission today, let's break down what good alignment actually looks like, find those common sticking points, and, figure out how to fix those leaks.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. This high cost you mentioned.
Right.
How exactly does the funnel break? Because it feels like it often happens quietly.
Well, what's fascinating is how subtle it can be, but the impact is massive. The funnel literally cracks. So imagine a prospect downloads your best white paper. Great MQL, right?
Right. Marketing's happy.
Exactly. But then maybe the BDR calls pitching something totally different, or worse, maybe they don't call quickly enough or at all.
Oof. Wasted effort.
Totally wasted. Or the handoff to sales is just murky. The AE gets in SQL, a sales qualified lead, but with zero context. It's jarring for the prospect, kills your credibility, and just slows the whole deal down.
Yeah, I can see that.
And HubSpot found 87% of sales and marketing leaders say collaboration drives critical growth. 87%. That tells you just how much potential is being left on the table when it doesn't happen.
Okay, so the BDRs, they're really the linchpin here, but often they get seen as, just junior salespeople. What's the deeper role, this operational glue idea?
That's spot on. They are so much more than just junior reps. Think of them as your frontline intelligence. They're the ones validating those MQLs against your actual ideal customer profile, your ICP.
The perfect customer blueprint.
Exactly. They add that crucial layer of insight is the timing, right? What's their real intent before it ever hits a salesperson's desk? This protects the sales team, filters out the noise, makes sure follow-up is sharp, and, honestly, they often see the friction points, the data silos that execs miss. They're like data miners for process improvement.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, and they sit right at that intersection, inbound and outbound, making sure the message stays consistent, whether it's a hot inbound lead or a strategic outbound touch.
That makes a lot of sense. So if they're that critical bridge, how do we make sure it's solid? Does it matter if they're internal versus, say, an outsourced team?
Yeah, the inside versus outsourced question, it definitely matters. Look, outsourced teams can give you scale fast, but they often struggle to really live the brand narrative, And CRM integration can be clunky. Sometimes it just feels like dialing for dollars without that deep connection.
Right, less embedded.
Totally. Internal BDRs, if you integrate them properly into those cross-functional workflows we're talking about, they just align much tighter with the brand, with the campaign goals, with the sales plays.
Which brings up the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually create that alignment? Especially when marketing, sales, BDR leaders might have slightly different views of the world.
It really comes down to building a shared operating model. It takes deliberate effort. First, you absolutely need shared goals and metrics, your CMO, your CRO. They have to co-own things like lead to opportunity conversion, pipeline velocity, deal progression. It can't be siloed.
Okay, shared accountability.
Precisely. Second, put a service level agreement and SLA in place. Think of it like the rule book. It defines leads, sets follow-up times, rules for recycling leads. It makes alignment operational and brings gaps to the surface fast.
Got it. Like a contract between teams.
Kind of, yeah. Third, you need constant feedback loops. Weekly syncs, BDRs, marketers, sales reps talking, sharing what they're hearing, refining messages, real-time intel. And finally, the tech has to support it. Your CRM, marketing automation, sales tools, Salesforce, HubSpot, whatever you use, they need to be unified. Automate the flow, track everything.
Okay, so you do all that. What's the actual payoff? You mentioned Terminus earlier. What does that look like in terms of results?
Oh, the payoff is absolutely tangible. Yeah, Terminus, they saw a 30% lift in MQL to SQL conversions. 30%.
Wow.
And that was by embedding BDRs into campaign planning, not just briefing them after. They understood the why behind the campaign. That lets them personalize outreach in a really authentic way. Beyond that, you see sales cycles shorten. Why? Because buyers get a consistent, relevant experience.
Makes sense. Less friction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your revenue forecasting gets more accurate because the pipeline is healthier, the customer experience is better, just a more efficient funnel, top to bottom.
So for a CMO or a VP sales listening right now, feeling maybe a little bit convicted,
Yeah.
what are the first actionable things they can do? Where do they start?
Okay, 3 things. First, audit. Seriously, dig into your CRM reports. Where are leads stalling? How are handoffs really happening? Assess follow-up times, message consistency, find the leaks,
Get the data.
get the data. Second, executive sponsorship is non-negotiable. Your CMO and CRO must be aligned and actively champion this. They need to own those shared pipeline metrics and empower their teams to work together. And third, look outside and inside. Leverage case studies, see how other ABM-focused companies do it, but also benchmark yourself internally. Where can you improve?
So wrapping this up, it sounds like alignment isn't just a nice to have. It's pretty fundamental to building a real sustainable growth engine.
It absolutely is. When it's working, alignment turns your BDRs into a true force multiplier. It breaks down those silos, sharpens your focus. It lets them actually bring your marketing strategies to life, in every conversation they have. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. How effectively right now are your BDRs translating your marketing strategy into real interactions with your prospects?